Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night if you're watching this later in the day. How are you guys? How was your weekend? Anything exciting? I went to the Home and Garden Show. I think that's pretty cool. Learned something. There or do you know how big the IX Center is? Anybody? The display space is over 1 million square feet. That's huge. So all my realtors, you guys can figure out how many acres that is pretty quickly because we all remember how big an acre is. And it's got a bottom. So I think Martha said it was like over 2 million square feet. That's impressive. That's a lot of plants and gardening. So that was actually a lot of fun. I think I saw one, maybe two realtors with some booths set up. I don't know if that's a good use of time, but there's people there, right? I take that back. It would be a good use. I mean, we're in real estate. We need to be around people. So anywhere where there's people, they probably have a house or need a house. They're living somewhere. It's not cheap to get in there. I don't think they were living on the streets. So what we want to talk about today. Today, I want to talk about I don't know if it's the fifth or the sixth habit on the 7 habits of highly successful people, but synergy. Synergy is kind of interesting. Is it a good morning? Is it hippy dippy? Or is there actually some science behind it? What is it? Should we talk about it? I think we should talk about it because it makes a big difference in our performance as a company and as an individual is the synergy. And it is one of the 7 habits of highly successful people. And I do want to be a highly successful person. So let's get started. So let's just go over some of the examples of synergy. The most common and the most simple example I've seen is 1 plus 1 equals 3, or 4, or 5, or 10, or 100. Point being that it's like a Megatron or Thundercat. Remember each individual Thundercat or Power Ranger? And then when they all came together, they were stronger, kind of like the Marvel Avengers. Individually, they were pretty cool. But when they came together, it was something greater. So that is synergy. Is that the sum of the part, or what is it? The whole of the parts is greater than the sum of the total. Something like that. 1 plus 1 equals 10. That's an example. Does that make sense? No, me neither. Another example, have you guys heard this story before? So one horse is going to pull X, right? So if you get 2 horses together, it would logically make sense that they would pull 2X, but they don't. It's actually 3X and actually a little bit more than that. So the 2 horses working together actually accomplish more work than 2 horses working individually. Let's think about all this for a second, because I know I'm talking to a lot of real estate agents. And I think a lot of times we feel like we're working alone, we're on an island, or we want to work alone because I'm the only one who does it this well, right? But just let's think about this. 2 people aren't accomplishing the work of 2 people. They're actually accomplishing the work of 3. Oh, well, Alex, I'm not a horse. Fine. Maybe you're a duck. So have you guys heard this with the formation? Why do they fly in a formation? Because they're actually able to fly 71% farther than they could by themselves. 71%. So this guy up here is breaking the wind. Well, not like that. He's, breaking the wind, not breaking the wind. And these guys in the back, they're encouraging them. They're like, go, go, go. And then they all take turns, right? If we want to get into the dorky physics of it, they're all creating a little bit of uplift, which helps the other ducks behind with a little extra uplift. And together they create this lift that helps all of them lift and they're more efficient. It's like for my NASCAR people, drag, right? If somebody is what do they call it? When they're right on their bumper following them, they're able to go faster because they together are reducing the air friction, whatever the nerdy talk is on it. So the air friction isn't greater because there's two of them together, but the power is greater. So it's kind of the same thing with the horses. If we want to get into the nerdy talk, there's a certain amount of friction in this system. Okay. There's not more friction because there's two horses. So the friction stays the same, but the power increases. I believe it's the same thing with business. We've got a certain amount of friction. I got a comment. Drifting. Thank you. Yes, drifting. Or not drifting, drafting. Yes, the drafting. Anyways, so when we're working with somebody, we have a certain amount of work that we need to get done. There's a certain amount of friction, but with somebody else, it doesn't seem as bad. Have you guys ever made calls in a group, like when bold? I don't know. It just seems easier, doesn't it? I mean, a lot of us still don't love it, but it does seem easier. Or have you ever been in a brainstorming session or a mastermind, right? And then, you have your idea and somebody else has an idea. Maybe you disagree. And then there's this third idea that comes out of it. There's this third mind, like they like to call it. But there's something greater that comes out of us being together and trying to figure out a problem. So for a example, I'm negotiating a deal in New Mexico. It's a small commercial deal. And we had an issue. So instead of me just saying to the other person, hey, you need to do this, you need to come up with more money, right? Instead of me just putting my perspective on it, I presented it, hey, let's work together. There's this problem of about 150,000. I'm working on a solution. Maybe you can come up with a solution for me as well. Once you work on, let's get together and let's see what we can come up with. And honestly, a third solution kind of came up that I didn't even think about, which will probably make the whole thing work. But if I would have came at it from my perspective, it would have just killed the deal. Or if I would have came at it from my buyer's perspective, it may have killed the deal. So let's look at it from another example. Say I look at things through a yellow lens, right? So if I look at a white vase, what color is it? It's going to be yellow. Okay. So then my friend over here is looking at things. He's got a blue lens. He's more of a blue lens kind of guy. He looks at the white vase. And what color is it going to look like? It's going to look like blue, right? But maybe there's a third option. Maybe the vase is actually green. But both of us coming together and masterminding and creating this synergy may give the third option. Oh, maybe it's a green vase. Just trying to simplify this. So I want to break it down into why do we think this works? Okay, there's basic physics. Why does this work? One, I think if we have, a few swans in here, it's probably not going to work as well, is it? They're built different. They're gonna throw it off. They sound different. It's not going to work. So I think when we're looking at creating synergy in our team, right, we need to be the same kind of duck. We need to be like-minded. Would you agree? Because if this was a cow and a horse, it's probably not going to work. We need to have two horses. We need to be of the same mindset of the people we're surrounding ourselves with. That makes sense? That made sense to me. I'm a simple guy. The other thing, if I'm looking at this analogy, they're going the same direction. If I got half these guys wanting to go to Cancun and the other half want to go to Florida, this ain't going to work out. It's not going to work out. Same here. I think these guys might even have little blinders on. They're going the same direction. They have the same goal. So we know we need to have like-minded people going in the same direction. So how do we do that? Like, I just want to use an example because a lot of people have been getting like virtual assistants or maybe just an assistant of some sort that they just need to do certain things, right? Are we painting the picture for them to go the same direction with us? Meaning, one of our big things is win-win. Do they win? Does everybody in my team win when I win? Right? If we hit our 100 homes sold, our 100 families that we helped, does everybody win or do I just win? Are we all going in the same direction or are they on little islands doing their thing and we're on our island doing our thing? Then just taking it a little farther. Like the other people in my team, my mortgage people, my inspectors, my contractors, do they know what my goal is? Do they know what it's like for me to win? Did I tell them, hey, I want to do 100 deals this year? Do you know what your partners want to do? Do you guys know how many transactions your mortgage company wants to do? And I bet some of you do. And you want to help them win, don't you? That's synergy. We want to help them. They want to help us. So are we using our team to create this extra force, this extra power, right? Are we using our team and are we all going in the same direction? And do we have the same mindset? I don't know. Let's evaluate. And if not, maybe we need to get rid of some of the swans and find some more ducks or get rid of that cow and find another horse and let's get some work done. All right. Thank you, guys. I hope this was interesting. Please post your comments on your thoughts. And are you using synergy? Do you see synergy in your company? Are you guys all going the same direction? Do you know what it means to win to all your affiliate partners? All right. Let's go out there. Make it a great week. And I will see you later.